Hello everyone, this is Camille from Tech of Tomorrow, and today we're bringing you the ASUS GTX 680 DirectCU 2 top card. This was just announced by ASUS yesterday, so we're very lucky to have it here. And you'll notice these sexy claw marks. It just brings out the beast in everyone. Now let's take a look at this box and see exactly what it offers, besides a little something down here. Yeah! Hey guys, this is Shannon from Tech of Tomorrow. So I'm sorry for the little intro. You know, we like to fuck with you guys, kind of give you something to laugh at a little bit before we get you into the technical stuff here. This card was just launched yesterday, so let's go ahead and take a look at it and see what exactly we're getting here. Okay, let's get rid of the ASUS box. It is a pretty box because I'm sure they want to see that. And then we have our ASUS manual and no CD like we were expecting there. Let's see. Here it is. Wow, this thing's pretty beastly. It's got a full cover backplate, so you'll notice that we do have the, like we mentioned before, the read points are actually the GPU hot wire points where you can solder it directly with wiring that plugs directly into the board. So that's something that requires a little more skill. You don't want to exactly do if you're going to be running it on air. This is more like guys who run extreme, liquid nitrogen, things like that. So you'll probably have to remove the backplate in order to get to access to a lot of the things you're going to do with that, but that's neither here nor there because the cooler's coming off anyway. Speaking of the cooler, we have the DirectCU 2 cooler. Seen this on a few other models by ASUS. Really quiet, really cool. This one basically cools really well because it's a triple slot cooler, so it's really large, and it also allows it to be a lot quieter than a lot of the stock fans you see that come on the card with reference. It is two-way and three-way SLI compatible via the two bridges here, and being PCIe 3.0 via the slot here, especially with Ivy Bridge just launching, it's a perfect fit because PCIe 3.0 is ready to run on this thing. So with the triple slot, definitely you're going to be looking at a board that's spacing something like the ASUS P8 Z77 WS board would be a great choice because you have the slot spacing there, so you still have one extra space if you were to run two of these cards. You also have your dual DVI outs. You will notice that only one of the actual DVI outs is analog compatible. Not that many people are going to buy this card and use a VGA monitor, but just keep that in mind if you're using an adapter to this. Also, you have your HDMI and your display port. And then you also, because of the cooler type, and they want to keep the card super straight for you, you have this bracket going across that keeps the thing just completely solid. Also, one thing on the card is that unlike the standard 680, which has a stacked 6 and 6, this actually has a side-by-side 6 and 8. So therefore, you don't have to worry about the stacked, which some people have concerns with, you know, fitment, especially with different type of modular plugs. This has a 6 and 8, which also includes extra power for the GPU for extreme overclocking. So something that'll definitely be a benefit for power users. Then in the box, we also have the dual 6 to 8-pin power connector. I'm thinking most people who buy this probably won't need this because, well, you're going to have a pretty high-end power supply pushing this thing. But if you need it, it is here. And also it has a really long Sli ribbon because most motherboards don't come with one for, you know, the really wide slot spacing you're going to need to run this card to another one because it's not a standard dual slot reference card. This thing's huge. I mean, this thing's huge. I wish I had a reference card here to hold up next to it so you can see. Luckily, Doc supplied us with another card to compare it to. We actually have another extreme overclock variant here. We have the Gigabyte Super Overclock card. So as you can see, this is a standard dual slot card compared side by side. Or even more so, just take them and hold them together. And you'll see you got a full another slot width coming from this card to that one.
Hey Shannon, can you glue the two cards together back to back and do a crossfire connection?
We could try.
Okay, just thought I'd ask as a newbie.
That'd be awesome. No, I really don't think that would work, but it'd be an awesome concept. We'll have to ask ASUS if they can implement that, just sticking cards together. With what they've done here, I would say it's probably not outside the realm of possibility. Now let's take a look at how long this thing is. Because you know we like it long. Ooh. Looks like it's almost exactly 12 inches to the end of the I/O bracket. So figure you're going to need a lot of space there. And width, we're looking at about 2.5 inches. In height, well, being a custom PCB, it's slightly higher than normal. As you'll see, it's right above the I/O bracket. Figure the full cooler is about a full inch over the standard size I/O bracket. So you want to make sure that unless you're running it in a test bench configuration, that you're running it in a chassis that has enough clearance above the I/O to fit this guy. Otherwise, you're going to run into side panel fitment issues, which Probably the least of my concerns, 'cause I don't think this thing will ever see a case. Okay, guys, and with that, we're going to see if we can come back with some crazy benchmarks on this. Maybe even if we can come up with it, maybe run it on some cold and see if we can break some records with this thing. Thanks for watching, and this was Shannon with Tech Tomorrow.